So you've come here for the truth. Well, we've got the truth and nothing but the truth. Here are your hosts, Robert A. Bianchi and David J. Bruno.
Welcome to WMTR Radio's Nothing But the Truth with your hosts, Bob Bianchi and Dave Bruno, two lawyers from New Jersey, talking about, of all things, mindset, not the law, Dave. It's about resiliency. What is making people super, super awesome? It's not just a radio show, too. It's a podcast. We'll talk about that later. But we're super, super excited to have a great guest, Dave Bruno.
Oh, is that right, Bob? I thought you were doing the intro, but I got no problem. I mean, Becca Brazil, international star. She's a singer. She's in PR. We just recently had her partner on, Rachel from Level Up Media PR. And I'll tell you what, Becca, I'm so proud of everything that you're doing. Not only the music, the TikToks with your father are hilarious and they go viral. And the PR stuff. I mean, I follow you on social media and I see everything that you and Rachel are doing out there. You basically have an event every single weekend with the red carpets and doing all your PR stuff. So it is such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for coming on, and I can't wait to hear your truth.
Well, I just want to say before Becca goes, the thing that got me nervous about her, Dave, was that I'm reading this bio, and I mean, obviously lots and lots of people see her stuff. It's hard to have an eclectic background, unless you're me, of course. Of an artist, a musician, digital and social media sensation, numerous media outlets like Forbes and Bravo TV and Yahoo and Rolling Stone, on the cover of Global Woman Magazine in 2022. Man, that's some impressive resume. So, Becca, what is it that makes you who you are? Just before we got on camera, I could tell you got a very vibrant personality, and so you're not only successful, but you seem like you're pretty in your own space about who you are as a person. Talk to me.
Honestly, when it comes to me as a human being, I'm just always growing. When success, I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can determine success, but for me, every single day I'm trying to become better. I'm trying to meet more incredible humans. I'm trying to change and transform lives. And so everything that I do, I want to cater to that. So that's why I make these videos that make people laugh. I'm in PR and media, which can help people elevate their business and their brand, which I've realized for me completely changed my life. So I use things that I learn and I try to help others elevate their lives through the processes and systems that I've used for myself.
Dave, that's like right in a nutshell of what we hear from so many successful people. They're doing what they love and their goal is to help other people.
Yeah, awesome. Just let's take a couple steps back. I mean, let's get into where are you from and tell me your upbringing, because I know it's unique.
Yeah, of course. So I actually was born here in San Diego, but my first language is Portuguese. My mom is Brazilian, and I've traveled to Brazil ever since I was little. My grandma doesn't even speak English. But now I've basically been in San Diego since I was born, traveling the world, and really coming into that Brazilian side of who I am. My dad's American. So my dad and mom got together here as roommates when she moved here from Brazil. And growing up, I had ADHD and I was diagnosed with problems with my attention, which to this day is something that I feel like has really turned me into who I am today, because I had problems with ADHD medication when I was younger and utilizing medication to try and make me better, but it actually was not helping me at all. And I've realized that a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, who are successful, have dealt with something very similar. And sometimes it's actually something that really is unique and helpful. And it's been able to make me great in different areas, and I guess made me who I am today. So.
Well, Becca, I'll tell you that resonates with me because I'm curious on your thoughts on this. I was my mother would use the word rambunctious child. That would be the word. It's a great word, rambunctious. And my sister, who's an educator, said there's no question in her mind that, had they done it at the time, they would have given me Ritalin. I was always being sent to the, multi-purpose room. And there was a lot of energy. I remember this so clearly as a child. But if you weren't in the mold of how other children were behaving, understandably, you were considered kind of like an outsider, if you will, or maybe even problematic. But my fourth grade teacher meant so much to me because Mrs. Bierstein, she saw that energy and she gave me projects. She gave me things to do to give me, distract me, whatever you want to call it, to burn off that excess energy and what have you. I was never in trouble, like from a fighting side or anything like that. But all these years later, I remember her so fondly because it was the only time up until that time, and it was fourth grade, that I actually felt like I could succeed, because I always felt bad because I could tell other people didn't appreciate or thought that I was a problem. Does that make sense to you? Does that resonate to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I've dealt with that pretty much my whole life. I was prescribed medication when I was in middle school, and I pretty much took it up until maybe 6 years ago, and it almost ruined my entire life. When I won Miss Jetset Magazine, I was on the cover of the magazine. I won $100,000. I invested it into my first business. And at that time, I was on Adderall. And I started taking more and more and more because I had so much work to do, and I would stay up all night working, and routine and structure was lacking in my life. I would stay up all night and, sleep during the day. And I realized that without routine, structure, and taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, medication can only do so much. I mean, I'm not like completely anti-medication because I know some people need it, but I feel like in today's world, they're prescribing people left and right with so many different medications. And for me, I will tell you, it truly almost ruined my life. It took me 2 years to figure out who I was again after I stopped taking the meds. I couldn't think correctly. I was just like, all I wanted to do was sleep. I stopped wearing makeup for a while because I was like, who am I? Why do I wear this? I was just really confused. And I will say that was all due to having ADHD, being prescribed medication, and not really understanding who I was and why I was that way. It was just numbing things and making me want to do things that I wasn't interested in. So,
I mean, just to follow up with that, now that you're under, however you got yourself into the space where you're able to control that to a certain extent, you do see your ADHD as actually being something that has been positive for your success, I would assume, in some regard.
Absolutely. So my husband, he's actually a triathlete and coach. And when I met him, I was on the medication, and he was like, you don't even look at me in the eye when you speak to me. I was up and down and around. And he just knew that there was something off. And I had already been kind of Googling, what happens when you're addicted to medication? What's going to happen if you come off of it or whatever? And so I was so ready to come off of it. And luckily he was there to support me and guide me through the process. And now every single morning I wake up, I exercise, which exercise actually does a very similar thing to your brain as the medication does. It gets you super hyper focused. And so every time that I exercise, when I come home, my entire day shifts, and it gives you confidence. It gives you clarity. It gives you all the things. So I truly think that exercise is what really changed my life, and taking care of myself mentally, physically, emotionally, surrounding myself with the best people. And yeah.
Yeah, no, you talked about the exercise, and you also said that you did it with routines and structure. What are some other tactics that you were able to implement to get you over the hump and get you off those meds? Okay, so for me, my calendar in my bathroom is so important because your phone, there's so many distractions on here. So when you're able to write things down every single day, the little things all the way to the big things, and actually cross them off and X off your day and move on to the next day, that really helped me because I'm able to visualize what I need to do every single day. I have visual of the entire month. So all the biggest things that are happening. And then on the downtime, I'm also able to schedule fun activities, which is how my dad and I were able to start with the TikToks. We scheduled that into our schedule. It's not an easy thing where you just wake up and make videos and get ready. And everything has to be scheduled out or else it won't happen. And then, of course, leave time for the random experiences because life is short and you got to have fun and enjoy life, or else what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, you want to?
Oh well, I'll tell you. Maybe this is a little plug. I just came across this amazing app that I I have implemented into mine. It's about blocking schedules, and schedule is so important. This thing is called Motion, and it actually uses AI so that you put your tasks in and you prioritize them, and it actually puts all the tasks in the priorities in your day around your blocked out schedule. So really, it's something that I've brought into my life as well, and I just stumbled upon this thing. I think it's a great tool that I have found that I think everyone could look at. It is awesome, Becca. Motion.
So we have about a minute left before we take our break. I'm curious, can you talk to us about how you wound up in the media world on Forbes, Bravo TV, Global Women's Magazine 2022? How did you wind up getting into the media space?
Okay, so when I opened my business in 2000, first of all, let's rewind. I went on Millionaire Matchmaker when I was 21. I ended up being a really awesome experience. I won. We ended up dating actually for like a couple years after that. And so I had my media exposure there, like getting on TV, getting my hair done, meeting the producers. It was so epic and so much fun. After that, I had the opportunity to apply for Miss Jetset Magazine. And this was the time in my life where I was looking for funding because I had a jewelry business that I had started and I needed to expand the jewelry business. And this opportunity fell on my lap. When I tell you that things happen for a reason, they do. And you need to keep your eyes always open to opportunity because they could change your life. So this opportunity fell on my lap. Not only would I be on the cover of this magazine, but I would win $100,000. And I knew exactly what I would do. I would wear my jewelry on the cover and I would use the $100,000 to invest into my storefront, which was my ultimate goal. So I ended up doing everything that I could and I won, right? So they flew me on a private jet to do my photo shoot. It was incredible. So media, TV, understanding that it's not just about the followers and about looking popular online, like having an online community and building your presence online can change your entire life, your business, everything. And so that's when I went full force. I started connecting with the right people and those started going viral, which got me onto Forbes. So it was just step by step things happening. That's when I realized after being published in all these outlets, I was like, okay, media is everything. Sorry, am I running out of time here?
No, actually, we're going to pick up with that. I want to just emphasize before we take a break, eyes open for opportunity. Yeah. This is WMTR Radio's Nothing But the Truth. Bob Bianchi, Dave Bruno. We'll be right back.
At the Bianchi Law Group, our team of former prosecutors and certified criminal trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and domestic violence cases. When you need a law firm with courage, compassion, and the commitment to fight for you, call the Bianchi Law Group today.
All right, welcome back to WMTR Radio's Nothing But the Truth. Becca Brazil, Dave. Wow, this is an amazing story. She was in the middle of talking about her success, and I love that line, keep your eyes open for opportunity, because I so much have lived that myself. You can just not see it right in front of your face. She gets it, and it launched her from one thing to another thing. I don't know if you have a question or if you want her to keep going.
Yeah, how do we bridge the gap into the actual PR industry? I mean, not only did you experience the media, but now you are helping others in the media.
So I started just making connections. I mean, when journalists were reaching out to me for me to be featured, and I was like, okay, now that I'm featured, I have this connection, right? I have this contact. So how can I utilize this in order to help other people? I never really even knew that it could turn into a business, to be honest. At first, it was just kind of a passion and it was fun. And I would connect the reporters with potential influencers or potential entrepreneurs and just connect them. Not even through like my business or anything. And I remember telling someone, like, I have this dream of having a media agency. One day it will happen. And less than a year later, Rachel and I swear, when you want something bad enough, it's just all the pieces end up falling together. So less than a year later, Rachel and I ended up launching our business. We had a full team of coaches behind us. We had virtual assistants working for us. We had everything that we needed. We built even more and more connections with different journalists and writers and all of that. And so basically we were able to create a online PR agency because Rachel's in Pittsburgh and I'm in San Diego. So we have a virtual office. Like this morning, we were working together on Zoom. So that's how we do everything. We travel, we go to events. Rachel and I are both red carpet hosts. And then another thing that I forgot to mention was, so my dad and I were doing TikToks going viral, which ended us both on Forbes, my dad and I. And then after that, I had this opportunity to create a collaboration song with another artist. And I had this crazy idea. I created the beat. I pitched it to him and he was like, that's great. I really like that. I go, why don't we do this song together? So we created this song and it ended up on top 50 charts in both Canada and Luxembourg.
Well, but listen, if you're ever looking for somebody with harmonica and saxophone, I'm just saying, you know.
Let's go! Absolutely.
Harmonica, saxophone, magician, trial attorney, boxer.
I love the boxing. Let's do the boxing video. So listen, look, you're having fun with your life too. I love this, that you're taking advantage of opportunities, but you seem so, and eventually when people see the podcast, Dave, they'll get to see the bright smile and you're very, very energetic. That's genuinely amazing. Who's your avatar, as they say, or your perfect client that you would like to be able to help?
That's really hard because I feel like Rachel is very focused on entrepreneurs, and I love working with entrepreneurs, but I also really love artists and just entertainers because I feel like that's a literal business now. It's not just something having fun online anymore. People, they have talents and skills that are, you know, today able to viralize overnight. So I guess my perfect client, let me reiterate, it would just be somebody who's very open-minded, who knows that media and PR can change their life, because a lot of people are so wary about it. Even when I was doing the Miss Jetset Magazine contest, people were like, is this real? I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if this could actually work, you know, and I just knew. I'm like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this happen. So I want people to do whatever it takes. They want to be known. They want to be seen, and they will put in the work and connect with the right people to make it happen and not be so questioning the process all the time.
Wow. You mentioned when you joined up with Rachel, you guys had coaches and people to look up to and help you navigate through the new business. And we could appreciate that, and we have similar experiences. But who are some of the people that you look up to right now? Just off the top of my head, for me, Ed Milet, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Brendan Burchard are some of my tops. What about you, Becca?
So let me tell you, there are people actually that are closest to me. Rachel, she's so freaking smart. My mom, who built businesses all over the world. She has businesses in San Diego. She has schools in Vegas, in Irvine, in Colorado. Like she has schools everywhere. In Florida, not Colorado, Florida. And she was a single immigrant mother because her and my dad had broken up. I look up to my dad. He's absolutely amazing. He's gone through a lot of hardships and come out on top. My husband, incredible human being. I mean, I don't even look up to those big league guys. Marcus Black, he's incredible. If nobody has seen him speak, this guy's going to be the next big thing. I'm telling you that. Every time he speaks, it like speaks right into my soul. Such a kind human being. So for me, it's truly like the people closest to me. They are stars. They are incredible. And they're the ones that inspire me. And of course, my husband, I don't know if I said my husband, Giuliano, is just, he changed my entire life. So
Giuliano, I like that.
That's amazing. What about the why? What about the why, Becca? I mean, what drives you every single day? What is your why, your purpose that fuels this energy and motivation?
I truly believe that somehow I'm going to change the world. I think that the world needs help. I think that the world needs positivity. I think that the world needs, I don't know, but there's so much sadness happening right now and so much, I focus on the good. So I don't even know like literally every single terrible thing that's happening, but I want to make the world a happier place. I want to inspire the younger generation to understand that they can achieve anything, but they need a good head on their shoulders. They need good people to look up to. And they just need to understand that anything is possible. So now with social media and with being able to compare yourself to the person sitting next to you, it's so much easier for people to have that self-doubt and not believe that they're good enough. So that's my true goal. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I do know that I will change the world. I want to have a voice. I want to be on huge stages. I want to be on TV. I want to be everywhere that I can at least just have a big audience to listen to what I have to say.
Amazing. That impact, we could also relate. And one of the things that we're doing, Becca, is we actually are holding a workshop starting on August 2nd. It's something that we're doing for students. And we're giving back to high school students, college students, law school students, all interested in careers in law. And we're spending a lot of time on this right now, putting together the curriculum and bringing the speakers together. What type of advice would you have for that demographic that's interested in being an attorney, that's interested in taking our workshop?
Absolutely do it. These two men right here, I mean, clearly, if you're watching this, you know these guys, or if you don't know them yet, I mean, if you can at least surround yourself with people who are world changers, who are looking to, make changes in the world, team up, do it together, utilize that so that you can learn and you can take action yourself. So I think what you guys are doing is amazing. You're starting young and just keep going.
Young, you hear that?
I think she meant the students.
She was looking at me. I thought she was talking about me.
She meant the students. And I agree. Look, I mean, to give back, like to go back to that age when you have everything in front of you. I mean, what a tremendous time. And you know what, Rachel? I asked Rachel the same question. And what she said is, go all in. Go all in. Give it your all. There's so many distractions in this world right now on social media, on television, going out and partying, all kinds of distractions. Go all in. What do you think about that advice from Rachel?
I absolutely love it. Go all in. Use your circumstances to your advantage. If you're lonely, use that time that you have to yourself to make your dreams happen, because some people don't have time. So if you have time, use that time. If you don't have time, figure out how to utilize what you have and take the most full advantage that you possibly can. Go all in, like you guys just said, because you can't go back. So all you can do is move forward, try your best, put in your all, and it will be worth it.
Definitely the most valuable commodity is time, Bob, right? Some may think it's money. It is absolutely not money. It's time. When you have the time, go and invest in yourself.
Can I say one last thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I forgot Lisa Vanderpump is the person who I look up to besides my fam and closest friends. She's amazing. And somebody on her show recently said, I don't need a manager. All I need is a lawyer. Everyone in the reality TV space, all they need is a lawyer. They don't need managers anymore. So
good point. I want to talk about this before we go, and we'll jam this in if we have to, because you make a good point. These celebrities, athletes, executives, all of the people that have worked so hard for their reputations have the reason to have people like us in their lives, because you never know when you either make a mistake or somebody alleges falsely that you've made a mistake, that reputation could crumble. What do you think of that, Bob?
Well, listen, I mean, I have a unique perspective on this, having represented both of us, high-profile individuals, and that's part of the niche of our representation. Because especially if you're in the world of criminal law, domestic violence, municipal court, or even we've been asked to quarterback cases because we're real trial lawyers that are in civil and whatever, because we really know our way around the block. But we have to deal with more than just a criminal case, for example. There's reputation management. And so we have to be very conscious of the fact that while every criminal defense attorney wants their client to remain silent and not say anything, that this could have a really bad impact because we're in the media world. We know how to kind of balance both of those worlds. But like Jillian Michaels said, who's a client of ours, not for criminal or domestic violence, a person who wanted to come to us for, advice on a civil matter, and who's a friend of the show, said it's like the most important thing that you can do. When I was prosecutor, the Jets training camp was in my jurisdiction, and it never ceased to amaze me that when they were either on the precipice of getting in trouble or did get into trouble, the lawyers that they had, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I was like in shock that these people who are worth tens of millions of dollars, how are they getting their lawyers? And we came to learn it had a lot to do with who their agents are or the company itself, which I guess somebody's got a friend. But that friend doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have the best interest or really are the best person for the job, Dave. I don't know if that's where you wanted me to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we're in cancel culture at this point. Literally, something that could come out that's even false, a false accusation, or something that makes the headlines could really ruin a person's career. So I'm glad you brought that up, Becca, because that is something that I've been thinking about a lot, about these executives, the celebrities, the athletes with everything to lose. And they really do need to understand that they need someone to manage that, to be in your phone, obviously.
Yeah, let's say it for what it is. Let's be serious for a minute, right? So I just said basically what the situation is you can't get through that gauntlet. Like these would be people that would be great for us. We're New Jersey Supreme Court certified criminal trial attorneys. I was appointed by the governor to be prosecutor, major crimes unit, incredible trial experience. You have all these things you tick off. You're in the media world, hosting TV shows, on TV shows, and yet you can't get through to the people that really need the help. And that was something that was really daunting for us. And I really feel, as I do with many people who don't have proper representation, that it's unfortunate that it's the friend and family thing that's working as opposed to what's in the best interest of either the athlete or the star. Yeah. Does that make sense to you, Becca?
1000%. Absolutely. And I'm excited to work with you guys moving forward because big things are coming.
Amen. And you know what? And I think that's pretty much as good as we're going to get right now. I wish we had her on so many more times. Hopefully you'll come back, Becca. But unfortunately, time, as we're talking about, has ceased for us on this show. You're listening to WMTR Radio, Something About the Truth with Bob Bianchi and Dave Bruno. Every Saturday at 10:30, the radio show. Dave, podcast, where can they find it?
Yeah, nothingbuttetruthpodcast.com. That's where you could listen on Saturday mornings at 10:30. There's where we have all those videos. You could watch Becca when this gets launched on Wednesday. And then finally, IWantToBeALawyer.law. That is the website. That is the page for registration. It is open. We already have registrants. There's a lot of buzz going on. We used to do it in person.
We've been doing it for years. From when I was a prosecutor through our private practice. That now we're virtual.
Yeah.
We can reach so many more people.
That's what we're so excited about, is because we used to do this in New Jersey with 10 participating colleges in a room, and now we're able to do this digitally all across the country, all across the world. If you want to be a lawyer, IWantToBeALawyer.law is the webpage with the registration.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Ciao. Peace.
Bye.
We're the Bianchi Law Group, a team of former prosecutors and certified criminal trial attorneys.
But here's the thing. He put himself in a box when he said...
Relied on by CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, Law and Crime, and news leaders across the country for our criminal defense expertise.
To get a search warrant, you have to have probable cause that a crime's been committed and there's evidence in a particular place.
When you need a law firm with courage, compassion, and the commitment to fight for you, call the Bianchi Law Group today.